From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2357, this is Ham Nation Headlines for Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. In one Canadian province, hams have noticed that the after effects of the past storm season haven't been all bad.
There are a lot of happy radio operators on Prince Edward Island lately. Hams in this province of Atlantic Canada have discovered their ranks are growing. According to a report by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, Tropical Storm Fiona and the COVID-19 pandemic have created an environment that has led island residents to discover the appeal of radio communications. Prince Edward Island, also known among island chasers as IOTA number NA029, has become a place to nurture new amateurs, according to members of the Charlottetown Amateur Radio Club. The club's president, Bill McMaster, VY2WM, told the CBC that the group's membership has grown especially after amateur radio's profile grew during Tropical Storm Fiona this past September. At the time of the storm, local operators were helping with emergency response through the Can-Warn Emergency Communications Network, joining the ongoing nets, providing status reports and weather updates. Organizers told the CBC that the hams on the island expect to have another training program for licensed candidates by springtime. This is Sel Emby, KB3 TZD.
A proposal called the Amateur Radio Communications Improvement Act hopes to overhaul rules affecting data transmissions,
saying that federal regulations need to keep pace with advances in amateur radio technology. A United States lawmaker has proposed updating rules governing data transmissions over the amateur bands. The proposed Amateur Radio Communications Improvement Act would eliminate the current symbol rate limits set by the FCC. The lawmaker, Debbie Lesko, an Arizona Republican, writes on her website that regulation of symbol rates has become outdated because newer technology permits the spectrum to handle greater amounts of data. The proposed update of the FCC rules removes the symbol rate limit and sets a 2.8 kilohertz bandwidth limit, which is already in place for amateurs using 60 meters. The ARRL previously pressed the FCC to remove HF symbol rate limits, claiming that, among other things, it was an obstacle to experimentation. Although the FCC has previously questioned the need for any bandwidth limit at all, the ARRL has said there is a need for such limits because digital protocols could be developed that have excessively wide bandwidths. The ARRL issued a statement saying the league hoped the FCC would remove the restriction on its own without waiting for the bill to be passed. This is Kent Peterson, KC0 DGY.
Hams in the UK are being asked to contribute their ideas for radio's role in marking the King's coronation.
Long before there was radio, the UK had its fire beacons, torchlight relays that served as warnings of invasions in earlier centuries. As the Radio Society of Great Britain makes its plans to help mark the coronation of King Charles III and his Queen Consort next May, the Society hopes to give this ancient tradition a role as well. A number of events will be organised for the occasion with an eye towards demonstrating amateur radio to the public. The Society's coronation lead, Alan Messenger, G0TLK, is looking for ideas about what shape the special events will take, and most particularly how the fire beacons can be included as a way of honouring tradition. UK hams are being asked if they have suggestions for these events or any other thoughts to contact Alan at special.projects@rsgb.org.uk. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With Sel Emby, KB3TZD, Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wellbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.